Hello everyone, this week's Parsha is Parsha Matot Masai, in which we read about many different actions that occurred to Bnei Israel through the process of journeying through the Midbar, though in the end it is a recap of sorts. In the end of Parsha Masai, we conclude with all the travels that Bnei Israel went through in their journeys in the Midbar, and there's two specific actions that occur within the Parsha that are noteworthy, and I think contribute to this overall theme that's summed up in Sefer Bamidbar as a whole through the last two Parshot of Matot Masai that we read on Shabbos. Okay, so the first such action is the dividing up of the land and the request of Reuven and Gad to settle west of the land of Israel. Now, this request, on face value, is only granted to Reuven and Gad through following exact decrees. Now, this is important as the entire Bamidbar process was a growth process and a journey that Bnei Israel had to go through where they made tons of mistakes. Along the way, they had to grow from these mistakes, and they were there for a reason in order to allow them to become the nation they would to enter the land. The Bnei Israel had to first follow commands. That was something they had to learn. That they had to follow commands God set out for them, and only then would they be able to settle the land. And this example of Reuven and Gad exemplifies this perfectly, as they were told that they could settle west of the land, as long as they were able to first settle the rest of Eretz Yisrael with the rest of the nations, and after they had settled down, only then would they be able to return to a land that's west of the Jordan River. That's the first example. The second example is that of the end of the Parsha with the Goel Hadam, the Arei Miklat, the cities of refuge. When someone kills someone accidentally, they are given refuge temporarily. Until the Kohen Gadol dies, they have to remain in a certain city, and the Goel Hadam can attack them, but if not, then they have to escape. And these cities of refuge, they represent for Bnei Yisrael a chance for them to be able to repent. And this is exemplary of Bnei Yisrael's actions in the Midbar. It was a growth process. There were many sins involved, there were many mistakes that occurred. Bnei Yisrael was, in a sense, in a city of refuge in the Midbar. They were granted everything. They were safe. And then we read about the occurrence that what happens, the Goel Adam was able to chase after them. The door that was leaving Mitzrayim all passed away in the Midbar. They all made mistakes, but they were able to learn from these mistakes and pass them on to the next generation. And the Arei Miklat, in a sense, represent this growth process, this opportunity to be able to grow and to be able to return anew. And Bnei Israel enter into the land of Israel needs this opportunity to be reminded of this, and this is something that's constant for them. And if we look at the rest of the Parsha, the end, the Ramban ends off with a beautiful sort of summary of Sefer Midbar, and he prays that this is the chance for Bnei Israel to return to the land of Israel, and ultimately for us to return to the land of Israel. As we know, the Ramban famously noted this and has his Talmidim and himself follow him and follow the footsteps of our forefathers into the land of Israel. And with that, we have a message for Shabbat, and hopefully we can take home this message of being able to replicate the Dor HaMidbar in their growth process, journeying through the 3 weeks, journeying through the end of Sefer Midbar into Sefer Dvarim as we will continue. Have a good Shabbos, everyone.